Welcome back, capital F football fans, to the O&O Sports YouTube channel. Today, we are looking at yet another first round playoff matchup. This one is in Austin, Texas, where the Clemson Tigers travel to take on the Texas Longhorns. As always, be sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and be sure to follow us on our social medias for a chance at $100 this Christmas. Free money, folks. Take advantage of it. And now, let's start with the tail of the tape. Clemson versus Texas. Clemson has gone 10-3 this year with an 8-1 conference record and a win in that ACC title game that have gotten them here. Their best wins this year consist of SMU, which was that AC title victory, Pitt, and Virginia Tech. Total offense, they rank 13th in the country, not bad. Total defense, 56th, not as good, definitely not that great. Strength of schedule, 22nd, and in the college football playoff ranking, they're 16th, and Todd agrees with the college football playoff ranking, which is surprising. He has them at 16th as well, whereas for Texas, they are 11-2. 7-2 in the conference. Both of those losses are to Georgia, and their best wins this year are going to come against Texas A&M, Michigan, and Florida. For total offense, they're 15th in the country, and total defense, they're 2nd. Very great defense there. Strength of schedule, they're 3rd. In the college football playoff ranking, they are also 3rd, and Todd has them 1st. He's very high on those Longhorns. Very solid numbers for Texas, and for your players to watch, we're going to start with Clemson. The offensive player to watch is going to be the quarterback, Cade Klubnik. Now, we've said a number of times with this Clemson football team that Cade is the #1 most important player on the team. Obviously, I mean, he's the quarterback, but when he is hot, this team looks like one of the best in the country, and when he's not, they do not, to say the least. And that has been true all of this season, especially in their conference championship matchup against SMU. He has a great day. The Tigers get the walk-off W, and all is well. But when Cade has an off day, that offense really struggles to get the ball rolling. They need him to be on point in this one. But for his season stats, they look like 63.7% completion percentage, 3,300 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a passer efficiency rating of 148.6, with an additional 106 carries on the ground, 458 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Great year statistically. 40 combined touchdowns is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, but they need him to show up when the lights are the brightest, just like they need that defense to show up in this one. And for your defensive player to watch, it will be the linebacker Barrett Carter, the All-ACC first team standout for the Tigers this year, and he's going to need to show out big time against a Texas offense who will be able to hurt you in multiple ways. He's going to need to cover a lot of ground for the Tigers in this one, and on the year he has, going for 39 solo tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 7 pass defenses, and a fumble recovery. And now let's look at Texas. Their offensive player to watch is also going to be their quarterback, Quinn Ewers. He has been quite the story this year. Much like Carson Beck for Georgia, he's having a bit of a senior slump. Missed a couple games with injury, didn't play great in the conference championship game, and now is looking to bounce back and lead the Longhorns to victory in this one. On the year, he has a 66.2% completion percentage, 2,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions for a passer efficiency rating of 148.1. Has not been amazing this year, but he doesn't need to be in this one. As long as he doesn't cough up the ball too many times, he should have some help from his wideouts and his backs, and a lot of help from his defense. One of the best units in the country, led by your defensive player to watch in this one, linebacker Anthony Hill Jr., who has 47 solo tackles, a conference high 16 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, an interception, a pass defense, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery, and who is a first-team All-SEC award winner. He has been phenomenal all year. He's one of the best players in the country, on one of the best units in the country. They're going to go after Cade. They are going to make this game hell for the Tigers, which leads us to our keys to victory for both squads in this one. We're going to start with Clemson. For the Tigers, we're going to say here what we've said all year for this team, and that's play aggressive football. You can afford 2-way drives against Wake Forest and Virginia, but you cannot against a team like Texas who will wear you out on offense and take over ball games. You need to take shots, you need to utilize Klubnik in the ground game, and you need him to hold on to the football. Absolutely cannot afford turnovers against this Texas team. They live and die off momentum. They have their own issues with turnovers, but if you give Ewers enough time to figure out your defense, he absolutely can and absolutely will do so. So can't give him those extra opportunities. And with that being said, the last key to victory will be getting Ewers on the ground. This goes hand in hand with our last point. If you want a path to winning this one, you need to get Ewers out of his comfort zone. You've seen it work a number of times this year, like in the SEC title game, and you need to do that here. Force him out of the pocket, force him into the second, third, fourth reads, and force him to make quick decisions, or it could be a long day for that defense. And speaking of, for the Texas Longhorns, their keys to victory in this one will be leaning on that defense. You know what your offense has and hasn't been able to do this year. They haven't been as explosive as you might like, so there shouldn't be any reason to force the issue here with taking risky shots in this one. For us, we'd much rather see Steve Sarkisian lean on his defense that has been amazing all year, play the field positioning, don't give Clemson any room to breathe, and eventually that offense will be able to figure it out, especially if they get the ground game going in this one. Trey Wisner, Jaden Blue, and Gibson have all been very solid backs for you this year. Even Arch Manning, for that matter, all have been great options running the football. And if you can get those guys going, that takes the weight off of your shoulders exponentially, and it opens up that defense, which hasn't been keen on stopping the run this year. About 150 yards given up on the ground per game by Clemson, which is around 45th in the country. Not terrible, but not great either. Definitely something to think about if you are Steve Sarkisian. But the main thing, in our opinion, the main key to victory here is that slow and steady does win the race. Kind of goes with what we said in our last 2 points, but you don't need to be hyper aggressive here. This Clemson team is not Georgia. They're not going to be able to go down and score on 3 plays against your defense. At least we think they won't be able to. So there's no need to have an uber aggressive approach here. If anything, the lower scoring this game is, the higher likelihood you leave DKR with a victory. We know that when you control the pace of the game against Clemson, it's really hard for them to wiggle their way around it. And we think that's an excellent blueprint for a Texas win here. And with that being said, let's jump into our prediction for this one. As always, me and Todd are going to have different predictions here. One that his evil robot algorithm can conjure up, and one that my simple human opinion can as well. For Todd, this is a really simple pick. He loves Texas. Like we said, he has them ranked first overall. I believe he thinks the Texas Longhorns will win the national championship at this point. Anything can change, but he has the Longhorns winning this one 31-14, not even a little bit close. But in my opinion, the Texas offense has been on a bit of a downward swing recently. Clemson's has been on a bit of an upward swing, and that makes me believe that this one will be a good bit closer than that of the evil robot Todd. We are still predicting a Texas win here, but by a lot less. We think we're in for a Cade Klubnik masterclass, or at least as good of a performance as you can have against a team like Texas. And Clemson narrowly loses this one 20-16, a nail biter for sure. Clemson fans are going to be screaming at their TVs, but at least they've got Dabo lurking around in the portal this year. That's something to look forward to this offseason. Texas moves on, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this episode, and stay tuned for our next college football playoff matchup prediction. It's going to be a good one. Be sure to follow us on our social medias for a chance at that $100, and we will see you in the next one.